Today we are going to be decoding the prophecy of the four beasts of Revelation, including the little horn, aka who is the Antichrist. So who are these beasts? And we need to know who the beasts are to find out who the Antichrist is. Let's go into it. So Daniel 7 is actually a repeat and enlarged prophecy of the prophecy of the statue in Daniel 2. So the same kingdoms that the elements represented are represented by beast in Daniel 7. But in Daniel 7, we also get more information about these nations, confirming that these are the right nations that we're talking about. And it gives us even more information about the end and what will happen closer to the closing of time of Earth's history. So who is the first kingdom? In Daniel 7 verse 4, it represents this kingdom to be a lion that is given the heart of a man and stands up as if this lion is a man, and it has eagle's wings which are plucked off. Guys, we have to use Bible to interpret Bible. Therefore, which kingdom is often referred to as a lion in the Bible? In Jeremiah 4 verse 6 and 7, Jeremiah is warning the Israelites that Babylon is coming to take you captive. God's punishing you. And look what he says about Babylon. In verse 6, the bold part says, "For I will bring evil from the north." Verse 7 says, "The lion is come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way," guys, to Israel to take them captive, guys. A lion represents Babylon, but let's look more into this. So we find similar phrasing used to describe the lion beast also in Daniel 4, the story of the conversion of Nebuchadnezzar. What happens is that God punishes Nebuchadnezzar, and he is given the heart of a beast and made to go on all fours and roam the earth for 7 years as if he were a beast. But after the 7 years, his sense was given back to him. He was given back the heart of a man, and he repented. Now look what it says in Daniel 4 verse 16. "Let his heart be changed from a man's, and let a beast heart be given unto him," talking about Nebuchadnezzar. And now look how similar phrasing is used in Daniel 7 verse 4 to describe the first lion beast. It says, "The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made to stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it." Guys, the exact similar phrasing, guys. But it's kind of opposite, but it's correct because Nebuchadnezzar was in fact again given the heart of the man. Guys, it is explicitly telling us that this beast represents Nebuchadnezzar's kingdom, the kingdom of Babylon. More than enough information. But also let me add that this beast also had wings, okay? In Isaiah 40 verse 31, it tells us what wings represents in the Bible, and says, "Those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount upon wings like eagle. They shall walk and not be weary. They shall run and not faint." Wings represent the strength and the speed in which a nation conquers. So then we obviously know who the second beast is and the third beast is. The second beast is obviously Medo-Persia because they conquered Babylon. And the third beast is obviously the Greeks because the Greeks conquered Medo-Persia. Okay, but let's not just say that, because there's extra information in the symbols that confirm these as facts. In Daniel 7 verse 5, it describes the second beast as a bear that is propped up on one side. And note that the Medo-Persians were a co-ruling empire of the Medes and the Persians, guys. And the reason why the bear is propped up on one side is because one side, the Persian, were a stronger empire that had more power, okay? And hence, that's why the bear is propped up on one side, the Persians and the Medes. Let's move on. This beast had 3 ribs in its mouth and was told to devour much flesh, which represents the 3 major conquests of Medo-Persia: Joppa, Egypt, and Babylon. Now in Daniel 7 verse 6, it describes the third beast as a leopard which had 4 heads and 4 wings. Okay, so we know this to be the kingdom of Greece, but how can we confirm this? Okay, well, looking at history, Alexander was the one who expanded and established the Greek Empire. But note, after he died, his empire was divided amongst his 4 generals. That's why there's 4 heads and 4 wings. His 4 generals being Seleucus, Ptolemy, Cassander, and Antigonus, guys. And the wings again represent the strength and the speed of which the Greek Empire conquered. Let's move on. So who is the 4th beast, the 4th kingdom? Obviously, it's the kingdom of Rome, as it was the Romans who conquered the Greeks, okay, the Grecian Empire. But note, guys, in Daniel 7 verse 7, it describes this beast as exceedingly dreadful and terrible. And it says that this beast has 10 horns. Does that ring a bell? The 10 horns representing the final 10 divisions of the Roman Empire. Remember in Daniel 2, the final division of Rome was the 10 toes, the 10 kingdoms. It's all repeating itself, but it's also enlarging and telling us more about these 10 kingdoms. Remember, it said that some kingdoms will be as strong as iron in Daniel 2, and they'll exist until today. But some of them will be as brittle as clay, and they will be exterminated. Who were these kingdoms? The Vandals, Heruli, and Ostrogoths. What does Daniel 7 say about this? In Daniel 7 verse 8, Daniel said that he considered the horns, and then he saw a little horn come up out of the first beast. And this little horn plucked up 3 of the 10 kingdoms, the Vandals, the Herulis, and the Ostrogoths. But now the question is, who in history actually did this? Guys, do you see the miracle? Let's read a passage from the book, The Fall of Rome. It says, a death blow was given to the Ostrogoths in 538 AD, which were the last of the 3 kingdoms to be defeated and exterminated. It continues, and their re-attempts to establish themselves after this, the year 538, were but the last flicker of a lamp being extinguished. Belisarius followed them the same year to their last stronghold of power. Look at something else, guys. This is from the History of the Christian Church, Volume 3, page 327. It says, the Roman Church state power became supreme in Christendom in which year? 538 AD, the same year the last of the 3 kingdoms, the Ostrogoths, was destroyed. Due to a letter of the Roman Emperor Justinian, known as Justinian's Decree, which set up and acknowledged the Bishop of Rome as the head of all churches, it gave the Roman Church state political power, civil power, as well as ecclesiastical power. This letter became part of Justinian's code, the fundamental law of the empire, and that year, Pope Vigilus ascended the throne under the military protection of Belisarius. It was a combination of the Roman Church, the papacy, and the Emperor Justinian that came together in a church-state union to destroy the Ostrogoths. And once the Ostrogoths were out of the way, the papacy, the Roman Catholic Church, was able to ascend to its throne as a religio-political power. What is happening? The Bible is pointing to the Roman Church state, the Catholic Church, to being the Antichrist, okay? But not just that. It says that the little horn will make war with the saints, will rule for 3.5 prophetic years. We'll go into more about how many literal years that is. It says that the Roman Church will think to change the times and the laws, guys, and so much more. We're going to get more into that in part 2. Guys, let's go. I'll catch you in part 2.